What's up, team? It is time for that staff video update. Yesterday at about 4 o'clock, some of the campus pastors and myself got back from LCBC. We took a trip out there because they are in the middle of At the Movies. And I did a video for the app if you want to get a little glimpse of one of the lobbies that we looked at. They swear that their claim, I should say, is that the biggest draw for their At the Movies is their lobby experience. And I'm like, whatever, man. So we wanted to go out and see it ourselves. And so we saw 3 different campuses. And obviously every campus is a little different depending on their size and the location where they're at. But they really do create an interactive lobby experience that I think inspires us to think of ways to iterate in the future. So we're excited about learning from them. LCBC is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They are a church similar to ours, but they're 22 sites. Their sites range from rented facilities like schools to a space similar to that, probably a little bigger than our Perrysburg campus. And God's using them to reach the state of Pennsylvania. Great leader. Losing My Religion came from them. And Jason Mitchell, who just took over for David Ashcraft a few years ago, who was friends with Lee, is now leading the church. So they're in their, not quite their second generation because David followed somebody before him, but he's really the one who grew LCBC into the church that it is today. And so we just love learning from them. So you'll probably hear us mention them in the future again. But that's where we were yesterday. And you'll be hearing some of the things that we have learned. We'll be passing them on through the related teams. We just wrapped up our camp season, and camp was amazing. We got to take some of our legacy team members out to experience Fusion Camp. And the stories that I'm hearing back is how much they were in awe of that experience. Ironically, when we went to LCBC and I was hanging out with their lead pastor, I got to go to one of the first sessions of their camp. They are partnering with CIY for the very first time this year. And it was fun when the worship band came out on stage to sing. The same kind of rush to the stage that we have happened there. It felt like I was at Fusion Camp all over again. But man, just celebrating the lives changed, the stories, the text messages that at least I'm getting. And if you want to take a minute in your staff meeting, hit pause and just kind of talk through some of those over the last month, from kids camp to high school camp to Fusion Camp, that would be great. This coming weekend, reminder, no Saturday services. You may need to remind your team. I'm sure it'll be on social media, but it is Serve Day on Saturday. And so whatever project that you have lined up, excited for that. And what a cool opportunity for us to kind of sweep across the city to make a difference. And so that is something that we will be celebrating on Saturday. And then on Sunday, Andy is going to continue the series around Titus, the transforming of a nation. And so he will be talking about how transforming a nation will lead to, it starts with the transforming of a community. And so he'll be focusing probably in Titus 2 a little bit. And I'm looking forward to hearing that. So that's what we have to look forward to as this series continues. And then we've got the Titus reading plan. We've got the daily in the app. I ran into somebody this weekend that I saw a prayer request for. And I said, hey, how's it going? And he was kind of like, hey, how did you know? And I'm like, well, you posted a prayer request. And he appreciated it. So as we stay engaged in that, that's, I think, a helpful way to just keep those weak ties strengthening. We've got a really strong signups for the summit. We're over 400 people. And so I think today is the last day to get that early bird price, or the best price. It's not the super early. I know all these price points, right? But today I think is the last day to get that best price. But we can still invite people to join us for the summit. So that is today. And then obviously with the you've heard me talk about this weekend. I referenced some of our political stuff week 1. And so those are resources for you to keep and to point back to. Obviously, with the Republican National Convention, there's a lot beginning to ramp up in this political season. And so we're going to focus on the gospel first, not because we're afraid, not because we Here's the way that I say it. Anything that you do is political. So it's not that we're not getting political. It doesn't matter what you do. It's political. We're just not aligning with a political candidate publicly. We can talk about it. We can debate about it. We can have a favorite. Like, I wouldn't post on social media about those things as a staff member, because I think what it does is it puts barriers up for us to reach people who may view the future of our country differently than we do. So I don't post about that. I'm careful where and how I talk about it personally, because I don't want that to be a stumbling block for someone else. I'm trying to learn how to ask great questions, but we don't align with a political candidate because we're convinced that the gospel is the power of God transforming people. Romans 1:16. So if anybody gets all up in your face about, any of that stuff, just point back to Romans 1:16 humbly and gently, graciously, and say, actually, we're not afraid. We're just convinced that the gospel is the power of God at work changing people, not conservatism or liberalism or anything in our political party. But I do care about our country, and I'm thankful to live here. And I think this election is important. I just think I think JFK, every election, both political parties tell their constituents that this is the most important election you will ever face. And so that little, whatever you want to call it, motivation is just, it's tired. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and I'm excited about what God is doing in our church. I'm excited about this fall. And I also know there are challenges and different things that we're going to be facing in our future, and I'm just thankful to be doing them with you. So I love you guys. Just wanted to get you a little bit of an update on some of the things that I'm thinking, we're dreaming about, we're excited about for the future. And I'll see you soon.